So today is December 6th, 2024, and I'm going to be reading from the introduction of the Lankavatara Sutra, translated from the Sanskrit by Daisetsu Terero Suzuki. Okay, this is introduction, Roman numeral song, psychology. It's got, it's XXI. What may be termed Buddhist psychology in the Lanka consists in the analysis of mind, that is, in the classification of the vijnanas. To understand thus the psychology of the Buddhism properly, the knowledge of these terms is necessary. Citta, manas, vijnana, manovijnana, alaya vijnana. To begin with, in vijnana is composed of the prefix v, meaning to divide, and the root jna, which means to perceive, to know. Thus, vijnana is a faculty for distinguishing or discerning or judging. When an object is presented before the eye, it is perceived and judged as a red apple or a piece of light white linen. The faculty of doing this is called the eye vijnana. In the same way, there are ear vijnana of sound, nose vijnana of odor, tongue vijnana for taste, body vijnana for touch, and thought vijnana, mano vijnana, for ideas. Altogether, 6 forms of vijnana for distinguishing the various aspects of the world, external or internal. Of these 6 vijnanas, the mano vijnana is the most important, as it is directly related to the inner faculty known as manas. Manas roughly corresponds to mind as an organ of thought, but in fact it is more than that, for it is also a strong power of attaching itself to the result of thinking. The latter may even be considered subordinate to this power of attachment. The manas first wills, then it discriminates to judge. To judge is to divide, and this dividing ends in the viewing existent dualistically. Hence the manas' tenacious attachment to the dualistic interpretation of existence. Willing and thinking are inextricably woven into the texture of manas. Citta comes from the root sit, to think, but in the Lanka, the derivation Jesus, is made from the root seed, to pile up, to arrange in order. The citta is thus a storehouse where the seeds of all thoughts and deeds are accumulated and stored up. The citta, however, has a double sense, a general and specific. When it is used in the general sense, it means mind, mentation, ideas, including the activities of manas and mano vijnana. Also, the vijnanas, while specifically it is a synonym of alaya vijnana in its relative aspects, indistinguishable from all the rest of the mental faculties. When, however, it is used in the form of citta matra, mind only, it acquires still another connotation. We can say that a citta appears where there is its highest possible sense, for it is then neither simple mentation nor intellection, nor perception as a function of consciousness. It is identifiable with the alaya in its absolute aspect. This will become clearer later on. Alaya vijnana is alaya plus vijnana, and alaya is a store where things are hoarded for future use. The citta as a cumulative faculty is thus identified with alaya vijnana, strictly speaking. The alaya is not a vijnana, has no discrimination, no discerning power in it. It indiscriminately harbors all that is poured into it through the channel of vijnanas. The alaya is perfectly neutral, indifferent, and does not offer to give judgments. Relation between the various functions. Having explained what the various important terms mean and what functions are indicated by them, let us proceed to store in what relationship they stand to one another. The whole system of mental function is called in the Lanka Sita Kalapa, or Vijnanakaya. Sita and Vijnana are here used synonymously, like a synonym. In this mental system, 8 modes of activity are distinguished: Ala Vijnana, Manos, Mano Vijnana, and the 5 sense Vijnanas. When these 8 Vijnanas are grouped together under 2 general heads, the one group is known as Kayata Vijnana, perceiving Vijnanas, and the other is Vastu Prati Vikapa Vijnana, object discriminated Vijnana. But in fact, the Vijnanas are not separable into 2 groups, for perceiving is discriminating. When an individual object is perceived as such, that is, as solid or as colored, etc., discrimination has already taken place here. Indeed, without the latter, the former is impossible, and conversely, every vijnana performs these 2 functions simultaneously, which is to say, one function is analysable into 2 ideas, perceiving and discriminating. But it is to be observed that this double activity does not belong to the ala vijnana. Okay, this is Roman numeral 23, introduction, and I'm going to end it there. And we'll start tomorrow on the next part.